Hi guys, and welcome to Reps and Recovery episode 2, and today we are talking about nutrition.
So our main focus is about prepping, and there was a few questions that got brought to our attention that we really hope we can answer within these videos. The first one is why we prep. Second one is the benefits of prepping. The third one is why we prep, what we prep. And then the fourth one is any sort of like top tips, generic kind of like prepping things that we can give to you for you to try before you start following your macros.
Now, you probably have seen that little video before. That was us actually prepping. Now, it was actually us prepping, and we started off just doing a little bit of vegetables. It's such a key thing in nutrition. You can pump out a meal quite high with vegetables and not worry about your calories. And with us, at the moment, we're doing roasted vegetables, so we can chuck a lot in there with a little bit of oil, a little bit of salt and pepper, and get quite a nice taste out of our vegetables. Because, to be fair, who really does like veg? And boiling it isn't the most exciting thing.
Especially when you're reheating, and if you're prepping for a couple of days, reheating boiled veg doesn't taste the best. And we've found that you can roast so many different kinds of vegetables. One that we really like at the moment is broccoli and red cabbage. The red cabbage, although it's red, somehow turns some of the vegetables purple. Who knew? But it's so nice. You can get it really crispy, and actually reheating that doesn't take away that element of the roasted, whereas with the boil we find it can sometimes get a bit stodgy, a bit like baby food. But it's super easy, super quick. Probably takes about 40 minutes or so. So that's why we chuck our veggie in first. So that can be cooking whilst we're doing everything else. Key fact. Put the timer on, because as soon as you get stuck into cooking, you will lose track as to what's going on here, how long this has got left, when did we put that in. Always set a timer. You can always check throughout your cooking stage, but do set a timer because no one wants crispy veg. It's just not ideal.
So the main important question is, why are we doing this? Why are we following the prepping side to this? And the key thing is, it's all coming down to, if you want to achieve goals, you've got to follow some sort of plan. So if you want to lose weight in the gym, you follow a gym program. If you want to run a marathon, you follow a running program. So if you're trying to lose weight, you've got to follow some sort of nutrition program. And prepping is the main part of any plan. There's no way, in my opinion, that you could go into a daily sort of lifestyle of working and living your life and just buy things off the shelf and think they're going to hit your macros, because it's just not going to happen. So prepping once a week, twice a week will make a massive difference in that side if you're going to achieve your goals.
Another key thing about prepping is it allows you to track what you're eating and when you're eating it. So many people think that, if I just skip lunch, then that's okay because I haven't consumed any calories. But actually, your body's going to be holding on to anything that you ate for breakfast or for your mid-morning snack. So actually, tubbing up your lunch and your breakfast and your dinner gives you that accountability that if you go home with a tub that's still got food in, and the chances are you haven't eaten it, and the chances are then you haven't consumed what your body needs to run and to be fueled and things like that. You don't want to be eating for the sake of eating, but also we're an engine and our body does need fuel. And sometimes people think, if I cut a bit here and I cut a bit that, then that's fine because I haven't consumed those calories. But actually, you're probably a little bit worse off. And I know for a fact, since I've been doing this, I'm eating more food than I have done before. Maybe a little bit healthier, but I am definitely eating more food, bigger lunches. Breakfast, I probably skip breakfast more times than I can count, but I'm actually eating a little bit more than what I once was, and I feel a lot better for it.
So we're on to the next stage of our prep, and we will catch you after this. Hi guys, we're back. We've just been doing the protein side of my prep. At the moment, we've just been doing minced chicken and the turkey steaks.
So the other question that people asked was, why is prepping beneficial? And there's quite a few benefits, I'd say, but the main ones are time management. Everyone's super busy these days, running a household, going to work, hobbies, pets, kids. So time management is super key. If you know that you can allow yourself sort of 40 minutes at a time to cook all of these meals for 3-4 days, then the chances are you're going to save time elsewhere that can be better used on other parts of your lifestyle.
Now, especially with most jobs these days, they tend to have a very small kitchen. So we're talking fridge and a microwave. So believing you can go to work and then start making a whole dinner while you're there, it's not realistic. So making sure you're prepping means you can take a nice couple tubs with you to work, chuck it in the microwave, heat it up, wash it up, chuck. Easy as that. It's just a lot more realistic to actually to achieve your goals by having those good solid meals, which are simply just put in the microwave. Now, we're not talking about like a buy off the shelf type microwave meal. We're talking about something you've prepped the night before. So fresh veg in there, fresh meat, fresh carbohydrates, and it's still a good solid meal for achieving your results.
Absolutely. We think as well, like having the prep and it there, it encourages you to eat it. So that's also another benefit, is that, you know, it's there, it's already made. It's actually not the hard work, isn't like microwaving it. It's actually just being able just to heat it up, like Ben said, is super easy, and it's a huge benefit.
This is going to excite you all. Prepping is also a lot cheaper. Now, money is tight for everyone these days, 100% understandable. But buying in bulk in chicken breast, buying in bulk in carbohydrates, it's a lot cheaper than buying a wrap or a sandwich, guys. It is. It's a lot cheaper, and you're getting a lot more for your money as well. So I can't really see a negative to prepping.
Stay tuned as we begin to prep my lunch and what I eat for my lunches whilst at work, and we'll be answering another important question. So there you've just seen me prep my lunch, and I have a salad every day for lunch. And some of you may be thinking, oh, this is quite boring, and oh dear, have I got to buy a pre-packed salad off of the shelf? No, you do not. I make all of it homemade, super fresh, and it's so easy. So literally, I use Romanian gem lettuces, cut up about a third of that for each of the salad. Top it with a handful of spinach. Again, a great source of iron. And then I add some olives, because I love olives. Maybe about 5 or 6. Not too fussy. You don't have to go sit there and weigh your olives. It's not that deep. 3 slices of ham. That's probably the one thing that is most noticeable. Is the thing that I kind of like monitor, is the amount of ham. Just to make sure I'm getting enough protein. But that's such a changeable part of the salad. I can go and have ham, I can have some chicken, I can have some tuna. You can mix and match anything you want. Spice it up like it is your salad. It's exactly what you want. You can chuck some sweet corn in there, you can chuck some chickpeas, you can chuck some mixed beans, whatever you fancy. Some cherry tomatoes, some cucumber, and some feta cheese. So you can make it as simple or as complex as you want, but it honestly does not take that much time at all. At the grand scheme of things, I don't cook anything for my lunch. Supplement it with a little bit of rice, maybe half a bag of that like microwavable Mexican rice, just to give a little bit of flavour. Yeah. But you know, it's not that hard, and it probably takes me about 10 minutes at a push.
For anyone who has not been dieting before, is not prepped before, this probably sounds like a lot of work, what we've been talking about. It really isn't. And therefore you're probably asking, why are we doing this? Now for me, it's a simple, I've got a competition and I'm working towards it, and to achieve a set weight goal, which is my target, I've got to be consistent with what I'm eating. So trying to eat a set amount of calories every day to achieve an overall weight loss, because I don't want to be going up and down in weight. Breakfast wise, I'm keeping a very solid protein carbs meal, because a lot of people again will get to about lunchtime before they even have any before they have any protein, and that's a very important part of your diet. Lunchtime is a big solid meal, because I need a lot of energy, keep me going throughout the day, stop me from snacking. And then for dinner, I start reducing my carbs from either a very small amount or none at all, purely based on the idea that carbs are energy, and you don't want to be sitting on the sofa with a big gut full of energy, slowly doing nothing at all. So for me, I'm reducing it down. I'm trying to encourage myself to feel tired, so therefore I have a good night's sleep. And what I found from when I've been doing it is I've been losing a lot more weight.
And I'm very similar. The reason like I prep what I prep is one, to support Ben. It's not very fair if I'm here eating super unhealthy and he's limited himself to just water. So I'm doing it as an element of support. Plus as well, like I wanted to change a few things. I think over Christmas we weren't as strict. We allowed ourselves to have a very healthy social life, and it was just a thing that we kind of wanted to do, and the competition gave us a little bit of a reason, and that's why like goal setting, and you know I'm doing quite a few half marathons that I've wrote Ben in as well, so it's that kind of accountability. But for me, what I do is I get up, predominantly do the horses most mornings because I work quite late, so someone else brings them into bed, but get up, do the horses, kickstart the metabolism early. I'm up, I'm alert, I've driven to the horses, I've skipped out stables, I've turned the horses out, everything's fed, all the jobs are done, come back, I eat 40 grams of porridge, I don't bother weighing out my oats, I buy from Aldi the sachets. So cheap, I think you get 10 in a box, so it will do you for the week, already weighed out for you, splash of milk, I don't use water, I don't know why, I just use milk. I think it's because my mum used milk. Put it in the microwave, minute and a half a banana chopped up on top, stir it all in, that's my breakfast. Lunch again is just my salad, which I've already explained and is seen in the video. And then for dinner, we actually eat the same meals. And like Ben said, we don't have overly carby meals. We try and consume it earlier in the day so that we are still burning it off before we then chill out on the sofa and go to bed. But we don't actually eat that bad of meals. We've got chili con carne, we just cut back on the rice and overload a little bit more on the mince. Thai green curry, again, cut back on the rice, but we make sure that we have a good sort of one and a half chicken breasts each within that mix, so that we're still full, but we haven't gorged ourselves on the carbs that are then going to leave us feeling very stodgy. And like it's little benefits as well, as like I'm sleeping a lot better.
Yeah, 100%, yeah.
Sleeping a lot better. I'm waking up and feeling a lot brighter, a lot more energized, because I haven't just allowed for that energy to just sit and pit.
You appreciate your food a lot more, don't you?
Yeah,
Well,
absolutely.
You don't, where before you probably want to just go grab a snack so you feel hungry. Now you go, actually, I know I shouldn't be having it. I know I don't need it. I can wait till my next meal.
So stay tuned for the next little part of the video where we cook the eggs and the rice to supplement Ben's breakfast and a few of his lunches, as well as a little insight on the finishing product.
We're back for the last time. We've just been finishing our prep. We are almost there, and we have our last topic for you.
So the last topic of conversation is generic prep ideas. Now, my top 3 for breakfast, lunch and dinner are some sort of granola with yogurt. Aldi actually do really good granola, high in protein, which is what I struggled with when we were working out my macros. Is females struggle to consume enough protein throughout the day. It's just not really within us to be able to eat that much. So getting a granola that was high in protein, as well as a fruit yogurt that was high in protein, meant that I hit that element of my macros, which was super beneficial then for planning the rest of my meals. So I would definitely recommend that if there's any females out there. Granola and yogurt, especially in the summertime, it is so good. For lunch, probably my favourite lunch is wholemeal pasta. Again, a weighed quantity. It's really important that element of it is weighed. Mixed in with 1 large chicken breast, some green pesto, some red pesto, whatever you fancy, with some wilted spinach in, is so good. And again, it's not a huge portion, but it's filling because I've consumed my carbs earlier in the day. And then for dinner, my absolute fave, Thai green curry. Now, I used to go for a phase of really disliking rice, but Thai green curry saved me because it is so good. But again, we weigh the rice. We weigh the rice element. One of those microwavable 2-minute sachets, we have half each. So we weigh out what that would equate to as dry rice, cook our rice ourselves just because it's more cost effective. We're eating quite a lot of rice at the moment, and mix it in with Thai green curry, and it is so good. So they're definitely my 3 favourite meals.
Now, my 3, I've used some of I've had in the past, and some I'd definitely recommend to like clients and friends. First one is porridge and a protein bar with a little bit of honey. Now, again, that might sound a little bit weird to some people, but it's a great source of carbohydrates, proteins, a little bit of fats and sugars, something you need. Just kick your day on a high, but not be too full on with sort of preparation example. So have it either mix your porridge with water or milk, depending on what you like. For me, it's water. Obviously, for Olivia, it's milk. Then chucking a protein bar in there. Now, obviously, pick the right choice of protein bar. Don't go ones which are high in sugar or high in fat. They're not really helping you. Go with a nice high source of protein. Break it up, chuck it in there. That'll break up your porridge taste. A little bit of honey just to give it a bit of flavouring, not too much, remember. And do also remember to weigh your porridge. One thing I almost forgot there, it's very key because having a massive bowl of porridge is not going to help you. It's going to make you probably feel a lot more tired than give you that energy boost.
Absolutely, and that's why I use the already weighed sachets. My macro suggested 40 grams, and they conveniently just come already weighed as 40 grams. They're not that expensive. It's a lot more convenient, personally, from my opinion. But then Ben, who was eating a little bit more than 40 grams, he actually used the big bag of oats and weighed it himself. So it just depends what your macros allow you to have. As to what you buy, but there's so much out there in the shops now that actually it's not that hard. And I mean, I have no qualms in confessing that we do our food shop at Aldi.
As you can tell.
And yeah, sponsored by Aldi. But they have a huge range of lots of like different and really, really good foods that we haven't had to go elsewhere because we haven't been able to get anything from on our shopping list.
Well, it leads us on to a very good lunch, I'd say, for anyone, and it's probably, there's no sort of reason not to have this one. It is chicken and stir fry, because you can buy a pack of stir fry and you can buy chicken. You chuck it all together and it's as easy as that. A little bit of sauce if you want it, but these days you can buy those packs anywhere and they still be quite cheap, or you can make it yourself, and again, it's still very cheap. It's something you can heat up in the microwave, something you can eat cold if you want to. It gives you such a good range, and you're getting a good source of protein and a good source of carbs, and you're getting those vegetables in there, which again, a lot of people will miss. So it's a brilliant lunch to take anywhere and have anywhere. So last one is, again, might be a hit or a miss for some people, is fish and veg. Now, yes, I probably lost a lot of viewers as soon as I said that, but you can make fish so much more fun. You chuck in a bit of tin foil, a little bit of oil, a little bit of salt and pepper, and then add some sort of spice to it. Give it a bit of a kick, because that's not going to be a sort of a calorific sort of kick on you. You're not going to lose anything from that. It's going to make it a lot nicer, and you're probably going to start doubling the amount of protein you're having there, because you probably have 2 fillets. You won't just have one because it's a little bit horrible. You're going to have it because it tastes nice. Chuck it with a little bit of veg. Again, choose how you cook your veg, boil it, or oven cook it, completely up to you. And then if you want a little bit of carbs, have a little bit of rice with it. But I'm having this on a Wednesday now on my prep for dinner, and I actually look forward to it. First of all, I thought it was going to be a sort of a meal filler. I thought I'd just get it in there, but actually it's a great source of protein, great source of healthy fats as well, which you can't forget. Fats are healthy as well. And it's a little bit of a change, really. Mix it up a bit.
Thing is as well, and everyone's like, oh, salmon and sweet chilli go really well. The sweet chilli sauce is okay, it's not great. So if you can actually sprinkle a little bit of like some chili flakes and it's things like that that can be a spice or a herb rather than a sauce or a mixture, because they do come with a bit of sugar. Yeah. So actually, if you can supplement it with herbs, you'd be surprised how much sugar you're cutting out of your diet just by that small little change. But still make it flavoursome. I think that's really, really key here when you're trying to eat clean and things like that. It's so easy to forget that actually it's got to be edible and it's got to be nice. Otherwise, no one is going to want to be here doing this. So we really try to experiment, and we chuck a huge amount of things onto our fish, and they come out completely different colours, because it's just getting creative, and it's just like there's no harm done when you're adding good things to food. Just do what you want.
Just put that effort in when you're cooking and not later on. So put that effort into marinating your meats and stuff. Don't wait until later on to then put some ketchup or some sweet chilli sauce on it. Put that effort in before, make it taste nice, enjoy it at lunch, and just don't cover it in sugary stuff, really.
So what you'll see now is our finished article. So we have prepped Ben's 3 breakfasts. Obviously mine is just porridge, so I didn't bother prepping that. And then our 3 lunches to finish us off for the rest of the week. Super easy. Collectively, this whole thing took us about 40 minutes.
Yeah.
So, and that's 3 days done, and we prep twice a week. So normally we prep on a Sunday and then we prep on a Thursday, just for convenience.
So if this has inspired you to really push on your prepping and to follow some macros, we will put in the information below, a little sort of calculation of how to do your macros. Now, obviously, everyone has a different way of doing it. This is just my way. So do give it a go, see what you think. That will give you your macros to work upon, and then give prep a go.
But don't be afraid to get in touch on our social media platform. Comment any questions that you have below. Don't forget to like, rate and subscribe. We really appreciate the support thus far. It's been great getting direct messages from lots of different people.
Yeah,
and any questions that you have, if you're interested in tracking your macros and want our support, Ben offers a great sort of like online coaching sort of service, as well as some supplementing it with some training. But we look forward to seeing you guys same time next week for for a new topic, which will be released later within the week. So do keep an eye on our social medias, and we'll look forward to seeing you guys then.
Catch you soon, guys.
Bye.
Bye.